Good evening and welcome to A Date with a Dinner Set, programme 301. I hope this finds you well on this lovely, lovely spring evening. It's been a fantastic few days, certainly in this part of the world. I hope you've had some sunshine this week. Are you talking to me, Mark? I am a stalwart for Sunday evenings. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I've had a great week. It's been a busy week musically, but also time to sort of enjoy a bit of the sunshine as well. So this evening's programme, 90% of what I'm playing tonight is indirectly or directly connected to things that were said in the chat room last week, which sort of inspired me and reminded me to play certain things. So that's worth bearing in mind. Good evening, Martin. Good evening, Jeannie. How wonderful to see both of you. So you'll see I have got the cards still up, the balloons. Well, you know what balloons do. They go all soggy and saggy, don't they? It's an age thing, really. So they had to go, but the thought was there, and it's been a sort of party atmosphere all week. Incidentally, I did read all your comments back from a live chat last week because I couldn't get them all whilst I was playing and talking, but I do read those, and I really appreciate all the comments that you make. And as an experiment this week, hopefully the live chat will remain with the video when it goes up tomorrow, because a lot of people now watch this on the catch-up, and it makes very little sense when they see me sort of looking at the screen and talking nonsense, but they can't see what we're talking about. So we'll have an experiment with that and see how that goes. Yep, so you are most welcome to A Date with Internet, programme 301 here on the 26th of April, nearly the end of yet another month. And yes, that was indeed the very wonderful quasi-Baroque theme to Antiques Roadshow. Not the original theme, actually. The original theme was one of Bach's Brandenburg concertos played on a synthesizer. But no, that was the one that came in around about, I'm going to say 1990, 1991. I sound like I know what I'm talking about here. And it was composed by this lovely chap, Paul READE, whose life was... Yes, Hannah, you're right. This chap, whose life was cut very short, but Paul READE composed the music to the Victorian Kitchen Garden, for those of you that remember that series. He also composed the music to The Flumps and many other TV things as well. A very talented composer. So he composed the music to Antiques Roadshow. Yeah, I think what happened with the subscribers is there were a lot of people. I know this because people at my various organisations and places I've been playing at this week saying, oh, I really enjoyed your programme last week. I think people joined in especially for that. So we are currently sitting, I believe, on 800 subscribers. Until about 40 minutes ago it was 801, but clearly that was a mistake on somebody's part and they've gone. But it's a nice little number, isn't it? I can expect all sorts of marketing emails from people that run YouTube type of things. Yeah, so the Antiques Roadshow, brother, you might know this little factoid, but the Antiques Roadshow started off its life in 1977 as a pilot documentary, and it was filmed in our hometown of Hereford. Did you know that? Well, you do know. So there we go. Cheers, Moore. You're a gent. Thank you, chap. Yeah, so the Antiques Roadshow was mentioned last week. It should have been in the medley. I mean, a lot of things that were designed to be in the medley should have been in the medley, but indeed weren't. So that's one of the reasons why that is there. Anyway, enough talking from me. You are most welcome, whether you're with us live or whether you are indeed one of those people watching on the catch-up or one of those people lurking in the background. You will see, it probably says in the chat room there are 14, 15 people. In actual fact, if I look at another stat, there are about 37 people currently listening, but they're not signed in, so that's why you're not seeing them. They're just listening. and lurking, waiting to pounce. So there we go. Yeah, 1977 apparently. I don't know where in Hereford, one of those weird old mouldy homes, you know. You only have to go 4 miles out of Hereford and you find these mouldy old crusty homes with sheep. A lot of sheep. Anyway, coffee and then on we go. Yes, I've been training that cat all week, Kate. Good evening, Steve. How fantastic to see you, sir. Yeah, everybody wants to be a cat, apparently. From the Aristocats from... Hello, Sue. How lovely to see you. From 1970. 1970 was the Aristocats. And a bit of an interesting film. Apparently... I didn't know this until relatively recently. It wasn't developed as a film. It was developed as a two-part sort of thing for, if you remember, some of you are old enough to remember this, The Wonderful World of Disney. It was meant to be a two-parter. But in the end, Disney sort of studios were in a bit of a sort of turmoil, late 60s, early 70s. So they were looking around for a film to make, and so this one is what happened. And originally, the Sherman brothers, Richard and Robert, they of Disney fame, composed about 12 songs for the Aristocats, but only 2 of theirs made it, and not this one. This wasn't a Sherman brothers song. This song was actually composed by Alton Rinker. There he is on the right, Al Rinker, who started his life as part of Paul Whiteman's Rhythm Boys, along with, there's another famous name, Bing Crosby in the middle. But a very talented singer, composer, and pianist was Al Rinker, and he composed that groovy tune, Everybody Wants to Be a Cat, for the Aristocats, in 1970. And if you're familiar with that film, that really is the big musical number in that film. It's not particularly known for its music, the Aristocats, but it's a great fun watch. But here's another little interesting fact for you: the 3 little baby cats, Toulouse, Marie, and Hector, were all based on famous people. Toulouse was based on Toulouse-Lautrec, and Marie on Marie Antoinette, and Hector on Hector Berlioz. So there you go. I bet you didn't know that. Right, so I'll press this button now to say that if you like what you see and hear, then do press the thumbs up button, and we would love to have that thumbs up. Not worn out at all, Jean. No, I'm itching. I'm itching. It's for hay fever. No, I'm itching. I'm itching to go. I'm just constantly twitching. It's lovely to see you, and I hope you're getting some nice warmth down there in Wiltshire. Yeah. Now, then, if you were watching last week, which pretty well everyone in this chat room was here last week. As soon as I start to play it, you'll know exactly why I've decided to play this evening. It seemed like it was worth a proper outing. So we'll have a sip of coffee, and that will fire us and inspire us, and anything else rhyming with that, into the next bit of music. Do enjoy. Yeah, I felt really bad. You know, we did that little Sunday night TV medley, and I forgot to play it and then told you that I had. Um, so I thought I'd play the whole version. That is the whole version, plus a very sort of odd 16 bars that I spontaneously added there for no particular reason. So apologies to the composer of that, and indeed the composer. Actually, before we do that, yes, of course it was the Vicar of Dibley, and a fantastic cast. A very, very special programme. In fact, the most successful, they say, sitcom of the digital era, 1991. Not 1991, that's the wrong date. 1994 was when that started. I know, it's a long time ago, isn't it? And it ran, I think, to 20 proper episodes and lots of specials as well. Now, I can never remember the chap next to Dawn French, but I met him locally in a concert. He was doing some recitations and I was playing for a group of school children. He was doing some recitations. What a lovely guy. And he has the most amazing accent. He's a Shakespearean actor and he's just got this beautiful speaking voice, not at all like the character he plays, and really, really nice guy. So The Lord is My Shepherd is the actual title of that bit of music from the Vicar of Dibley. And exactly, no, yes. Howard Goodall, the composer. And it was written as a serious bit of choral music for Christ Church Cathedral, Oxford. And that is Howard Goodall's alma mater. And so they sang it in the in the theme music as well. So that was the reason for having that. A very serious bit of music as well, which is why you don't often get to hear that middle bit. But it is very beautifully constructed based on the 23rd Psalm. Jamie Bland. Good evening, sir, on board your jolly old cruise ship. Fantastic. How lovely to see you. Absolutely amazing. So The Lord is My Shepherd, 23rd Psalm, otherwise known as the Vicar of Dibley theme tune from 1994, composed by the wonderful Mr. Howard Goodall. Howard Goodall, of course, who also composed Red Dwarf, Blackadder, lots of other things. Oh, QI, that's another of Howard Goodall's. There we go. And Grandma's saying hello to you as well. Fantastic. Amazing. Now, look, we haven't had this button for a long time. I'm going to press it anyway. We've been so busy, haven't we? But it's sort of ongoing, really, that you should know this. The reason I'm saying it is because I'm starting to run out. I've got one or two more to do. If there's anything you want to have specially played, particularly things you know that I've played you haven't heard for a long time, all the sort of things you know I play, send me an email. Although I will consider almost anything. I can't tell you when it will come up. It's quite bizarre the way these programs are constructed. And I'd like to say there's a fantastically amazing formula. There isn't. It tends to be sort of look back at the list and, oh, we haven't had that, or it's that we're celebrating this week, or somebody said something daft, brother, in the chat room, and then we respond to that with something in like. But it's always there. If you want to hear something, if you want me to hear me do a cover of something, then do email me and I'll let you know when it's going to come up. As I say, I've got one or two more to do, and then my little requests pot is dry. It needs filling with some more ideas, if you'd like. Something classic now, instantly recognisable, one of the most famous entries in the Great American Songbook, a classic standard I hope you will enjoy. Jamie, are you playing this evening on the ship? Don't miss your cue. see, the ending of that is one of the very useful times that it is that I have my bottom A string tuned to an A flat rather than an A. And as I tell my piano tuner, and it upsets him greatly that he has to tune it to an A flat, a lot of the jazz standards I play are in flat keys, and it's really nice to have a low A flat and pretend I'm like Matthew and Kate and Hannah with a Bosendorfer. You see, that's what it's all about. All the Things You Are from 1939. Thank you, Kate, for your comment, by the way. 1939, indeed, by the man that sat on his glasses once upon a time, Jerome Kern. An absolutely amazing composer, so prolific. And his songs just have a rare beauty to them. It was originally composed for the musical Very Warm for May, and quite warm for April, actually. And notice that the lyrics were by Oscar Hammerstein. Yes, that one. But I love that because it's such a classic standard. It's a standard 32, if you like. 2 A sections, a B section and an A section. The difference is that it's a 36 because it's got an extension. But it also perfectly demonstrates, hopefully, Steve, yes, I think it is. It demonstrates perfectly the harmonic concept of the circle of fifths, because the A section, let's put the other camera on, it's easy to see like that. The chord sequence goes down a fifth each time. The second A section is exactly the same but transposed. And that makes it awfully fun to use as the basis for improv, as indeed so many people have done over the years. And it's got a very, very clever substitution chord that goes on at the end of the B section, because we end up in quite a remote key. We've actually ended up in E major there, but by the common note as an anchor of G sharp then becomes enharmonically A flat for the return back to that tune. I know you didn't want a theory lesson. Wasn't my intention to give one, but well, you know, you just wind me up and set me off, and off I go. Indeed, we love it, don't we, Steve? It's just one of those great ones. I'll press the sub button now, I think. You never know, somebody listening might think, oh, what an amazing channel. I can get to hear all this amazing music theory each week. No, just sometimes. Yeah, so if you're not subscribed to the channel and you'd like to be part of whatever it is that goes on this merry little YouTube channel, GG the Piano Man, then please do subscribe. Press the notifications button if you want to know when things happen, like this live stream every Sunday or the regular uploads on a Friday. Fantastic. Yeah, as I say, it wasn't planned, it just happened. But that is textbook theory, all the things you are. Good old Jerome. Right, okay, something a little calmer will be known, I think, to a lot of people. Quite a famous ballad. Indeed, If is the title of that very beautiful, as Steve said, song composed by the wonderful Mr. David Gates, who's still very much with us. He's not singing anymore. I believe he's 85, 86. 1971 was the date of that, and it was so popular, not only in America but around Europe as well, and lots of people have covered it. One of the first people to cover it, it just so happens actually that the three people I'm going to mention, I've met two of them. Not her, sadly, but Olivia Newton-John was one of the first people to cover that song within months of it coming out by Bread. And then the next person to famously cover it was Telly Savalas, who I met in a restaurant when I was playing in Kensington back in the day. Lovely man. Gosh, he's tall, I tell you. But of course, he didn't really sing it. He sort of said it. And then Johnny Mattis, who I've mentioned just once or twice, that I have met as well. I did a very famous version of it. It is a beautifully constructed song. Absolutely love that song. So there we go. What am I pressing now? Let's press that button. Oh yeah. So the last of the organ uploads for Fridays, and this week I uploaded La Réjouissance and Minuet 2 from the Royal Fireworks music by Handel, recorded over at my stomping ground over in Claygate, and it's a jolly little piece. It's one of those famous bits of classical music that everyone knows, or if they don't, they jolly well should, because it's just very famous. And the Royal Fireworks, of course, a very famous event, and quite a bit of controversy in the composing of that music, and quite a lot of stroppy arguments from Handel, because he was a little like that, apparently. So speaking of uploads, I don't know if he's still in the chat room, but our friend Young Moore has done a fantastic upload this week. A really, really refined and controlled performance of an Iron Audi piece. And if you want to check out Moore's channel, I've been organised this week. I've put the link underneath this video. So if you want to go and check out Moore's channel, he's done an absolutely brilliant upload this week, and we've really all enjoyed watching that. Okay, here's another classic that was mentioned en passant last week. Fantastic, Jamie. Yeah, indeed. Good evening over there in Portugal. How lovely to see you. Interesting, Jill, you should say Embraceable You, because the chord sequence, well, the first couple of chords, because Embraceable You is actually identical. So it might well have been. All right, Jamie, we heard you the first time. You didn't have to shout it 3 times at us from your boat. All right? Right, witchcraft. Yeah, it was mentioned. I don't know why it was mentioned in the chat room. I can't remember the context. Something maybe sounded like it by the wonderful Mr. Cy Coleman. He composed, of course, Sweet Charity, that amazing musical from the 60s. And he also composed Barnum. He also composed City of Angels, all fantastically successful musicals. A lovely, lovely man, so talented and absolutely phenomenal, the songs that he composed. Famously recorded first of all by Frank Sinatra in 1957. In fact, Frank recorded it 3 different ways. There's a very famous recording by the Bill Evans Trio as well, amongst other people. Yes. Witchcraft. Yes. So there we go. Now look, before we launch into our final bit of music, you wouldn't forgive me if I didn't inform you that today is National Pretzel Day over in America. I know. It's exciting, isn't it? And fascinating the way that pretzels are made, and the history of them goes all the way back to the 6th century AD, apparently. And the shape is meant to represent folded arms as in prayer, apparently. And I've made pretzels a few times. I'm going back young children time, and it's quite complicated to start with, but once you get the idea of how you sort of loop it over, it is actually quite simple to do. Anyway, so today, April the 26th, is Pretzel Day. It's all very exciting, isn't it? So we're going to finish with a piece I've never played on A Date with a Dinner Set. I've been meaning to learn it for about 35 years, and people have been nagging me to play it. So I thought I'd better look up. I've sort of known it, but I just never played it. But I'm afraid I need a chart for this. I haven't quite committed it to memory yet. I don't know. I think it's pretty well known. There's certainly 1, 2, 3 people in here I think will know this final song. I hope you enjoy. by Erroll Garner, he of Misty fame. That's his second most famous song. It's called Dreamy. Absolutely beautiful ballad from 1964. And I hope that I will be able to learn that a bit more properly. Never like Erroll Garner. What a man he was. What a pianist. What a phenomenon. Anyway, we have come to the end of our time together again on A Date with Dinner Set, programme number 301. So I hope you have enjoyed what we have had to offer this evening. It has always been a huge pleasure to prepare and play for you this evening, and I do wish you all the very best for a wonderful week that is to come, and I look forward to playing for you next month. All the very best. Thanks for listening, and good night.